Hello, everyone, and welcome to San Antonio by Night, episode 3. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since we've last checked in with our coterie. And so, just to give you guys a little bit of a recap here, the coterie, the host, was given a task by their Baron Delgado, to hunt down a masquerade breacher, supposedly a Thinblood, who they don't really have a name for, but they have tracked down to a mall and interviewed a ghost, and were able to determine um, to find the person's wallet and be able to track down this murderer to another location and a motel that is on their domain. So the coterie right now in the moment is in their vehicle. It's about 2 in the morning, and they're on their way to this motel. And so that is where we are right now. So let's go ahead and open up with Wolf and get introduced to this lovely, adorable Nosferatu and see what his thoughts are on the matter right now. Wolf.
Good evening. Um, yeah, Thinblood. So, I'm not entirely sure what exactly happened at the mall. I step away for a second, I come back, everyone's got some occultish stuff going on. I don't really understand any of that, but I guess at this point now we suddenly have a lead on this. Moving on from that, I honestly want to talk to the rest of the coterie about everything. I'm really mm, I'm really unsure. I want to take this as carefully as possible because if I can get away with it, I would like to avoid altercation. And more specifically, if I can really get away with it, maybe avoid anyone having to get hurt. So maybe I can find a middle ground with the rest of my coterie on that.
It's definitely a worthy goal, to have someone get hurt, but wouldn't it be far more likely that this person is going to have some kind of judgment come upon them for murder?
That's something I didn't really think about.
Hmm,
It's true.
it's a
So
tricky
then we know
thing.
for sure then.
Certainly sounds like an interesting time. That brings us to M. M, you are sitting in this vehicle. What are your thoughts on the matter?
Well, it seems like everything could be under control, but there's always need to be wary, and I hope that we can catch it as neat and quickly as possible to not alert any suspicion. I'm worried this thing is apparently similar to us, but not. And I don't know. I feel something inside, and I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's definitely a good idea to talk to the party before we go charging in.
It definitely seems interesting that you refer to this person as a thing.
I don't really exactly know what it is, but it murdered someone. It feels fear, but it's being hunted by us, so
Fear and that sort of thing certainly seems like it would mean personhood.
and in this world we should retain our humanity, or so I've been told.
So you've been told. That brings us to Urian, the eldest of our coterie, the most experienced.
So it has been claimed. Still, as far as the Thinblood is concerned, here is the truth of the matter. If we do not staunch this now, Delgado's holdings are in threat. Our holdings are in threat. More will die, and more will be put to fire. The truth is that in such a delicate climate, weakness cannot be abided. And so, Delgado must appear strong. We must appear strong, even if it is only in appearance. I look at this thin blood and I think back to the tales my sire once said. Portents of Gehenna, the end of the world. And truly our world is ending these nights, especially with this second Inquisition creeping ever closer. So, at this point, this thin blood is a liability on our turf, and one way or another it must be handled. Simply, it is saddening that we are the ones that must do the handling. I will get my two charges through this, and hopefully I can bear the burden and alleviate it from their shoulders instead. Judgment be damned. I do what I must for my two charges.
Heavy is the head. That brings us to where we are this night. We find ourselves in the midst of the streets, driving down through the busy highways of 2 in the morning. It's growing later. Summers in Texas. Usually the sun rises between the hours of 5 and 6. Can never be too sure. What are your plans for the next 3 hours to try and find this thin blood?
Well, according to my understanding, the rest of you have discovered some sort of sign, vacancy, perhaps. I was thinking about, well, the rest of you were thinking about hotels. I think maybe we could find a couple on Google Maps, but it'd take some searching to do on our own time. When we do find the thin blood, what do we plan to do with it?
Certainly an excellent question. Seems like there's an awkward silence in the coterie tonight.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, yes.
Nah, there we go. The question earlier stated was what would we do if we were to find a Thinblood, yes?
Yeah, I was wondering what the rest of your plans is.
It is simple. We end up taking to Delgado. The fact is that we cannot afford to wait another evening. We have him so close, and if he or they run, we will not be able to catch them as they have little place to go. We will end up finding ourselves to be able to get to Haven, but we must end up doing so quickly. While we may have had eternity to live, we do not have eternity to wait in this one. Expediency is the measure when it comes to the masquerade. And let it be no doubt, it is the masquerade that is at risk here.
I agree. The more quickly we get this done, the better. Sun will be up soon.
So, at this point, I am going to use what I can. A knowledge of the neighborhood.
Mm.
Maybe I need to wave down Gregory, that old bum. Who knows? Whatever it takes, I will end up taking as quickly as I can to end up finding this individual and assist the others in the hunt.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna call for a wits plus drive plus Leanne.
who would have the better drive here? Because this is kind of a three-way pool, right?
Mm. Yes.
Um,
Who would be in the driver's seat right now?
I guess that would be me, actually, technically. So that's 2 plus lane, which I believe is at 3 now,
I believe so.
or 2. Coterie, domain, yeah, lane. That is going to be... Okay, that's going to give me a total of 5. And 2 assists, correct?
Ah, yes. Ooh. That, my dear sir, is a messy crit.
I will choose to actually spend a willpower and re-roll that 10, along with 2 other dice.
Perfect.
Triple messy crit.
That is still a messy crit. All right. So, going through the shortcuts that you might know, going from the mall to the motel. Nothing too serious really happens. You are able to find your way fairly quickly, but it does come with a couple of near misses when it comes to people on the street.
That a rare moment of Yuri and Lucy's temper. Learn to drive, asshole!
A little bit of the beast showing through in some slight road rage from Urian, but you scrape by, no damage really, but you can definitely suspect that that person was also waving some fairly, shall we say, lewd gestures in your direction.
Between the lines, motherfucker.
But you are able to get there fairly quickly, uh, and it doesn't take you maybe 10 minutes at the most to get there. There's the highway is fairly empty except for the cars that you nearly missed. Well, you nearly hit actually. So you do arrive.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is 8 successes for sure. Um, so what are your plans for finding out where this person is inside this motel?
Very well. Wolf M, would you accompany me real quickly?
Of course.
Wolf, this is about to end up going against a lot of things. Never end up attempting this stunt without them. But at this point, discretion is not our strong suit.
I have an idea. And
He listens.
Wolf takes a blanket and covers himself. Now I just look like a hunchback.
An incredibly large, intimidating one at that, but that is odd. Not breaking. Good enough for now, I suppose. Alright. It's at this point he. Have you worked on your abilities to be able to coax people to speak to you?
Um, not really. I more or less base on. I like to see what they are.
Very well then. Well, Wolf, I hope you are as intimidating as I hope that everyone else will see you as. That being said, first thing Urian's gonna do as he's walking around to the, well, I imagine this is the motel. Like there's the side chamber, and all of the rooms are exterior.
That's true. Yes,
Okay, this is more of a motel than a hotel.
correct.
He goes to the window. While he's doing this, he's gonna take a look around. Maybe signs of suspicious. Maybe he catches somebody who's constantly looking out, looking for strange people.
Okay, and so you're peering through the windows to.
I'm just observing them. I'm not going up to them and, oh, what's in here? What's in here? Right?
Okay.
Just keeping an eye out because whoever's paranoid like this probably is also keeping an eye out, which is might save us a bit of interaction and cut right to the chase. But I'm Tish.
Go ahead and roll me wits plus awareness. Are Wolf and M assisting? Or are
I
you.
am for sure.
Okay.
They are.
I am. Yep.
Um, M or Wolf, whichever. I only got 2 dice in that, so if you want to take it, by all means.
I'll
Highest pool and had 2 successes,
Mm,
or
What would-
pardon, 2 additional dice, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would be at a +2.
what would be the rolls for it?
Wits awareness is what I'm calling for.
I could take it.
Okay, roll it with a +2 modifier. Since it's been a second, just hit 2. Don't put a plus in there.
Mm.
4 successes. Nice. So, looking around, you spend a few minutes looking at the windows, trying to see if you can find someone who's looking through windows as well. What you do see is many of the curtains are drawn to these windows, but you do see shuffling in one of them. You don't necessarily see a face just yet, but you definitely see a shuffling of curtains. Maybe some movement. It's dark inside. There's only a silhouette.
Wolf points it out and just suggests it to Urian and M. He asks them, Anyone have, like, I don't know, is there a way we could see inside these rooms without being super suspicious? What if. Mm,
Mm.
what if maybe. Oof. God, I wish we had a name. If we had a name, we would have been able to check which room or something.
I mean, is there a front desk we could go investigate?
There certainly is. It's in a little uh separate room that has bright lights. You can see the desk in the window. There is someone there, uh, a man, kind of balding, not necessarily all that like he's very nondescript, and he's just sitting there, kind of messing with his phone, waiting for someone to come up. He does kind of see the group pulled into the driveway and got out of the vehicle. If you have.
I have an idea.
I'm listening.
So, we know this individual is probably using someone else's identity. Maybe we could coax the clerk to give us the room number for the person, the name.
That might, if you wish. If that is the case, Wolf, would you be able to go to the back? As I have no doubt you can be speedy when you need to be. And double check that our friend isn't trying to make his way out of a rear exit of some sort.
I can do that.
And while that happens, I leave this to your discretion. I'm going to go perform my priestly duties.
I will try not to disappoint.
You will not.
All right, so you're going to the front desk. Wolf is going to slink somewhere to try and cut off any exits. Yes.
That's correct. All the while still wearing the blanket over his head.
Perfectly fine. You do attract the attention of one person who does come out of their room, but they immediately pay you no mind because they've gone immediately to their vehicle and just gone about their way. It does seem a little bit odd to them that there's a large blanketed figure out in the middle of the motel, but it's not the strangest thing they've seen.
Wolf shuffles around like he's a homeless person.
Nice. Very nice. So, M, you are going to the front desk.
Yes.
Okay. And when you go through the door, there is a little bit of a chime. The man at the desk kind of perks up a little bit and just kind of waves at you. Hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
I'm all right. I've been looking for my boyfriend. We got in a huge fight, and you know, I heard that he was staying here, and I really need to talk to him. I was wondering if you've seen him at all. He has brown hair. He's super sweet, and he's just an angel.
The maybe. What's his name? Are you all right? You look kind of pale.
Can I do a cloud memory on that boy?
Sure. He's mortal.
Cool. I'll just wave my hand and just kind of sigh and
He kind of blinks his eyes for a second. He's a little bit dazed. Do you
Do
plan
you
on?
have any rooms available, sir?
Yeah. Let me look at the books. He goes and types on a computer to pull up the registry. To figure out what rooms he's got available. Yeah, I've got like I think I've got three. Got three right now.
All right. Do you have any with like multiple rooms? I have a few friends with me.
Oh, you're looking for a suite? You come to the wrong place, lady. This is like dirt cheap, stay a week kind of shit.
Uh, um, we were supposed to meet a friend up here,
Hmm.
and his name's Terrence.
Terrence. Okay. I don't know anybody named Terrence.
Terrence Blair at all?
They were renting a room here?
Yeah, from what I've heard.
I,
That's where he said he would meet us.
all right. He goes to look it up in the system. No. Nobody named Terrence Blair rented here ever.
Hmm.
It's weird that he'd
God.
actually meet here though. This I can't say that that's not strange, but
Well, I appreciate your help. I guess. Are you sure nobody's checked in recently? Like maybe in the past day or so? I
uh
mean, he could have.
even if they did, lady, that's not really something I can give you without a name.
Well, I appreciate your help, and I hope you have a lovely night. And she waves her hand and does the cloud memory and walks away furious.
He just looks at you dazed again as you walk out the door and just kind of looks at the whole interaction puzzled and goes back to messing with his phone.
As Em's walking away, she's clenching her fist and cursing under her breath. She does not join up with the other two. She's just gonna kind of wander.
Okay. You do see that the guy at the desk does eye you a couple of times as you go back to the vehicle, kind of wondering, is she gonna come in? He's giving you that look, and so that's what you see for the next couple of minutes. Urian, what are you doing?
Hmm. He walks up to the door, making it very clear to walk past the window that has been opened.
Okay.
He even goes so far as to directly look at it.
What you the cracks through the windows that you do see through the curtains is there. It's dark inside. There is a little bit of shuffling towards the back. You do see a
Oh,
silhouette. It's a fairly lithe individual. Okay. There's a knock at the door, and there's a pause for a moment. It's kind of silent. And then you see the door crack open just a little bit. There is a chain lock going across the door frame, and you do see a face kind of peeking. What?
Now, does he have brown? Is it a man, soft brown hair, about M's height?
You can make out that the hair is kind of short, and that it is uh it is a soft looking individual. What do you want?
He pulls out the wallet. leaving it open, making it very clear that the credit cards and all that are missing.
Fuck.
You're not as careful as you should be. Might we come in to discuss this without it getting loud so close to sunrise?
Really?
Let me re-explain that. We are, you and me, and whatever compatriots you have with you at this point, are going for a ride. I would like for this to be a calm, collected point where we can discuss matters. That ride will be happening. How loud things need to get, and how worse it gets for all of us, is entirely in your hands.
Motherfucker.
I've been called far worse.
Who put you up to this? Come on. Really?
Unlock the door before I have to get angry.
Fuck you, man. He slams the door and goes to lock it.
Immediately puts his foot in the way, and I am going to activate Eyes of the Beast.
Oh shit.
His eyes go completely bloodshot, glowing fangs around it. Leans into the door. I do not believe you are making the right decision. Make it no doubt that that little chain does not save you. At this point, I am being polite and courteous.
Fine.
Little morsel.
Fuck, that's fucking creepy. Alright, cool. Yeah, move your fucking foot. It's taut.
His eyes change back towards his fangs, and he does so. And will you run in 3, 2,
And
1?
he unlocks it.
He opens it. Fantastic. Is there a door to the back, Mr.
Fuck you. No. This is a motel.
Well, Mr. Fuck You, it's a pleasure to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. Urian Doyle.
Am I supposed to know that name?
If you did not, if you did, at this point, you would not be speaking to me so disrespectfully.
Yeah, well, you don't... Whatever. What do you want?
Well, first of all, I want to understand on what exactly happened that caused you to end up leaving a body in my territory.
Your territory. Alright. I thought...
What did you think, Mr. Fuck You?
It's Alfonso, if you must know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alfonso.
It wasn't supposed to be like that. It was just... These things get a little bit crazy.
I'm aware, and things will get much more crazy throughout the night. Well, you ran to a motel because you had no place to go, correct?
You don't know me.
No, but I do know that you wouldn't be here tonight if you had some place better to be.
Who's to say I didn't call somebody?
Because if you did, you are now responsible for 2 or more murders.
He just eyes you.
Fantastic. Now, do you have any belongings you wish to end up carrying for the trip?
You know what? I'm kind of here by myself right now.
I'd like to insight that.
Go for it.
Mm,
Go for wits insight. Okay, let's see. You are the aggressor. You do win in this case. So, you do know that he is alone, but he's not giving you the whole story. He does have a couple of things to grab, but that's about it.
Mr. Alfonso, I would suggest we end up hurrying, as I would hate to be on the freeway when we are here caught in the middle of daylight. That could be hazardous to all of our healths, such as it is.
Yeah, no shit.
No, there is none at this particular moment. And it's at that point he takes a step to the door, opens it, where I believe this is about when M should be catching up.
Were you walking towards the room, M?
No, I think she probably had headed back to the car.
Okay.
Mm. He opens the door, realizes no one's there, takes one peek outside, peeks back at Alphonse, who he's pretty sure is drawing a gun on him.
Nope, he's just got his arms folded at you.
So is that everything you intend to take, Mr. Alfonso?
He grabs the well, he wouldn't have a hoodie because it's summer, but he grabs the duffel bag that he has that has a change of clothes in it and walks towards you through the door.
Fantastic. As he does so, he don't run. He has the tendency of chasing when he sees somebody running. And he gives
Who?
this two-finger whistle. And Wolf, you could probably hear it at this point. Just in case there was a back, I had to end up making sure it was watched.
I imagine Wolf does hear that whistle, and he perks up from the back, peers into the window, notices there's not a lot of movement or shuffling going on there, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he makes his way over to the front where he spots Urian.
And you see a slightly taller than Urian boy, probably no older than 20 years old, no older than 25.
Wolf perks up and he shuffles over, trying to be as inconspicuous as he can, but all the while uh, really anxious and anticipating.
Got a
Wow.
fucking bodyguard too.
Student.
Student.
Yes. Student. And as he does so, he opens the back door. Please, Alfonso, make yourself comfortable.
You know it's weird, right? To put somebody in your car, just putting it out there that you're a fucking weirdo.
You have not seen weird yet. But if everything is good, fortunately, tonight, things might get a lot more weirder.
Hold up, hold up. Before I go with you guys, what are you talking about?
Wolf, Wolf, would you escort Mr. Alfonso in the back, please?
Wolf leans in real close, just enough, uncovering himself to reveal his large fangs, sabers, if you will, his glowing red eyes of the beast activated. He chuffs at the man.
What the shit?
Get in the car.
I told you it would get weirder.
No, this is fucked up. This is fucked up.
You will enter the car. You will sit quietly. You will be polite and pleasant, as I do not wish for you to offend my dear friend Wolf. And I'm going to use charisma and leadership. And I believe, yep. Only 2. I will spend a willpower.
Alright.
Can I assist on this? Is that an option?
If it was an intimidation check, I would probably say yes, but since it's a leadership role,
It's only 2.
only 2. He's
Derek
very
dice is, in
hesitant.
fact. Whether he's hesitant or not doesn't bother me. It's whether he gets in the goddamn car.
He's kind of weighing his options, and there is a large 7.5-foot tall, beefy man behind him in a blanket with saber teeth, no less. And at this point, he feels like he's probably going to die. So he is actually going to start darting.
Am I currently present at all?
You're
was
near
I
the
present?
car.
Yep. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yep, he's
Wolf, if I might be pardoned upon, go fetch.
What did M want to do first?
Yeah, and what are you doing?
Well, if I was near him,
Mhm.
I would have liked to just kind of saunter up and give almost switch from this aggressive, angry posture to kind and gentle. And she smiles at this man that they have found and is kind of almost trying to comfort him through her smile. She's trying to play it off as and portray that it's okay. And as she approaches the group, she just kind of smiles and says, "Oh, a new friend."
I'm gonna say roll a manipulation persuasion at a -2. Because he is
Alright.
scared out of his mind right now.
Manipulation and persuasion, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One moment, please. Trying to find it.
Yep, there's the persuasion, there's the dice next to it.
Ah, yes.
Then add your manipulation, and then -2 at the end.
Sorry, my computer's doing stupid stuff.
Computers will do that.
And then -2, right?
Yep. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is kind of loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Sorry.
Ouch.
I am a professional streamer. So let's see. You had. Let's see. No, that's good. You are having no luck persuading this kid. He is ready to run.
Very well then.
Who's chasing after him?
I'd like to assist in chasing. If anybody else is chasing after him.
I would say anyone
I
chasing.
think
Roll
he
me.
needs to slip past us first.
Yep. Yeah, actually. Then
I will assist Wolf in the
Wolf
in the capture.
Yeah, Wolf, give me a strength brawl, and he's gonna try and escape you with a Dex athletics.
All right. Modifiers?
+1. Urian was right beside you.
Yep, Urian's right beside you, and do you have Oh my god, yep.
There is no escaping us.
There is, yep. You grab him by the. Oh, let's see if that's a crit first. Nope, that's not crit. Okay, so you.
I basically put him on the ground and put his hand behind his back.
Yeah, you tackle him straight to the ground. There is absolutely nothing that you cannot do at this point for this guy. He has his arm behind his back, his face is in the asphalt, and uh, what you see, what you also see though, is that the actually give me a high or low.
Let's go low.
Okay, so when you Wolf tackle him to the ground, Urian is assisting you by grabbing his collar. He you would assume that he would choke, but at that point he doesn't necessarily flinch at that really. But when you do tackle him to the ground and you're over him, the blanket is kind of jostled, your hair's kind of exposed, your snout's kind of exposed. Um, the clerk who is sitting at the desk is looking to get up and is looking to come out and see what's happening. What do you do?
Would you be kind enough to go and do your thing while we get Mr. Alfonso, fuck you, in the back of the van, please?
Yes. And she instantly acts on Urian's word.
All right, so he's gonna be coming out the door just as you're coming up halfway through the parking lot towards the uh, towards the group. And Wolf and Urian, what are you doing?
I am going to enter the driver's side and get ready to drive off, and Alfonso best end up considering to behave himself, especially given on what he is sitting with.
Oh God, help me! Help me!
Shh! Alfonso, perhaps you did not learn this, but our kind have particular rules. One of which is secrecy, which you are quickly trying to break. I told you this would happen, and I told you it would be amicable to the best of my ability. You are quickly straining my patience, but more importantly, you may be straining Wolf's patience. And Wolf is the one who is trying to end up keeping you alive right now. Please stop showing such levels of disrespect to his wishes.
What? What? Oh God!
It's a lot to take in, Alfonso. He kind of turns around and kind of looks at the back seat. It's a lot to take in. I know. So calm yourself. At this point, you are in no harm. The quicker we can leave this place, the quicker we can get out of view of the sun. And we get to end up seeing if we can end up getting you out of this alive.
Roll me a charisma plus persuasion.
Would the leadership also work?
Leadership will also work.
Okay. Ooh, that is a 6.
Ooh, that is a critical success versus his 3. Yeah, he's at this point he is giving up. He is not fighting it anymore. He's still very afraid of you. Still very, very much shaking in his boots, but he realizes that he does not have the ability to get away from here. And with his life being threatened, he is staying put.
Well, to be fair, I am not the one threatening his life. I am simply explaining that his life is under duress due to the circumstance that he has made, but he is free to interpret that however he pleases.
That's true.
At this point, I am going to drive over and pick up M, who should just be going about her business and finishing up.
Yeah, the gentleman who was at the desk kind of comes back out to you. Miss, what's going on? What happened?
She kind of stares at him blankly and waves her hand to cloud his memory. I'm sorry, sir. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He just kind of looks at you, a little bit dazed. What am I doing out here? What? Did you need something?
No, I was just looking for something I dropped on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Do you need help finding it? I
Oh,
can help you
nah.
look.
No worries. I've got this handled. You have a lovely night. And
Okay.
she kind of just toddles off, doing her own thing towards the car.
All right. He just kind of stares a little bit blankly, kind of scratches his head a little bit. All right. Okay. And he goes back into the front desk booth.
Cool. Inside the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
Wolf um, has Alfonso situate himself and goes invisible in the back as he does. And he starts whispering to him pretty gently, comparative to the rest of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Look, right now, I get it. Everything's confusing and terrifying. You probably just recently became what you are. I
Yeah.
don't feel that.
You're a fucking monster. You're a fucking freak.
Am I in the car
Uh,
yet when I hear this?
Oh yeah, we'll pick you up.
Okay. Just kind of looks at Alfonso saying this, and that's not a very nice thing to say to somebody who's been rooting for you.
No, you're all fucking freaks. I don't know what.
To be fair, I have been saying that from the start.
He's the weirdest. The big guy's not even that bad. That guy's the weirdest. God damn it! What the fuck did I get myself into?
Oh, as I said, my name is Urian Doyle. That behind you is Wolf, and the dear pretty thing at my side right now is M. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Alfonso. Fuck you.
Sure, we'll go with that. Okay. I don't understand what's going on. What? Help me understand here.
That is precisely why we picked you up.
Where are we going? Where are you taking me?
Well, at this point, we figured you might appreciate some place that is safer than a motel room.
Safer. You're planning
Yes.
on making it safer. Okay, yeah, this is going really well.
Well, do you plan on consuming any of us in the meantime?
No.
Fantastic. That ends up making us on a more than amicable ground. So, who would like to end up telling Mr. Alfonso what exactly is going on here?
I'd argue you're probably the best at this.
At explaining to him what his situation now is?
I would very much like to know, yes.
Well, as I'm sure Urian has probably told you, this could go rather smoothly. And from what you've shown, it's not going very smoothly. And I like it to keep it that way. Now, you have a friend who's looking for you, and we're gonna kind of discuss that when we go back to my little abode.
What
Does that
friend?
sound
What friend?
Alphon? For some reason, his name just escapes me. And she's being extremely sarcastic.
I would say that's a manipulation subterfuge.
Okay.
Incredibly sarcastic.
Incredibly sarcastic. He does not believe you at all.
I think I'm alright with him not believing, to be honest.
That's fair enough. What? Okay. Look. If one of the boys put you up to this is not funny.
And what if one of the boys did?
That would be fucked up. Cause we're cool.
Really? Who do you think you would think out of all of the boys you might not be so cool with?
I don't know. I don't have any enemies. I don't know who doesn't want to. What? I don't know what's going on.
No, clearly not, but you know the boys. And apparently you managed to rub one of them the wrong way.
Really though, who put you up to this?
Well, to be clear, no one put us up to this. This is something we're doing as a cleanup. This is direct response as to what happens when somebody plays with our masquerade. You do know that term, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Who taught it to you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would, and I'd rather not have to end up peeling your fingernails off and to find out.
What's it to you?
What's it to me? Well, Alfonso, you stole from us. You caused quite a mess. You've caused us a bit of aggravation in trying to end up cleaning up the mess you left behind.
The
You're
actual
squatting,
the actual mess got cleaned up though.
but not by you. The fact that a mess was made at all would be forgivable. The fact that you stole from us is not.
Stole from you.
You
What?
stole from me, you stole from M, you stole from Wolf. Wolf is an incredibly forgiving soul. I have to admit, his piety is to be admired.
But regardless, charity or not, someone has to take responsibility. And honestly, I'd rather it not be someone who's disempowered in the situation. And Wolf puts his long claws on Alfonso's shoulders.
He's definitely feeling a little bit more intimidated now.
So, to make it clear, Alfonso, I will tell you how this is going to go, so you believe me. We are going to spend the day. You'll have to forgive the bike lock, but as you can imagine, there are certain precautions we need to take. Now, once all is said and done, we will present you to the person who really wants your head. And I will
Oh, great.
and I will make sure it is still not separated from your shoulders, and you are not left to the scorching sun.
That's fucking fucked up.
It is. It is incredibly fucked up.
It wasn't my fault.
Why wasn't it your fault?
Because the guy came at me.
And
And I fought back. Like anybody does.
no, not like anybody does. The way you fought back was something significantly less. You ended up leaving a body. Did you enjoy his hot blood?
I don't have to answer that question.
He looks in the rearview mirror over Alphonse's shoulder. He wouldn't be able to see Wolf, but I'm pretty sure Wolf knows that Urian would be looking at him. Or maybe he can see Wolf. Never 100% sure.
I imagine you can see the blanket.
If you're obfuscated, everything you're wearing is obfuscated with you.
Okay, that's super cool.
That being said, M and Wolf are far kinder than I will be. And I am trying to end up being fairly amicable. You have decided to disrespect me in my little bit of... He pauses as he's recalculating the word. Turf.
This is your turf. I just said somebody put you up to this.
No, I said if somebody were to put us up to this.
You said somebody wants my fucking head.
Which does not imply anything else.
Okay. Alright.
Alfonso, the smartest thing you ended up doing was stopping from fighting us. Now, if you weren't going to survive this, do you think I would be giving you as much of a lecture?
He stops to think for a moment. I don't know. Maybe you get off on that.
I get off on a lot of things and a lot of people. This is not one of them.
That's more than I needed to know.
And I will have more for you soon. Still, Urian's been taking a lot of back alleys and places that, people don't normally drive, not only to avoid, but also making it a little bit more difficult for Alfonso to get his bearings and understanding exactly where they're going.
Okay.
And back to Haven.
Yep. And we'll go ahead and move everybody there. So, you do make it back to the Haven. It's probably close to 4 by this point. And Alfonso doesn't really get out of the car right away.
Oh, good. Wolf gets a chance to end up playing with the new toy.
Wolf looks at Alfonso. Do you need me to hold your hand?
No, fuck God, Jesus.
No, I get it. It's scary.
No,
I was a kid too once.
no, you are fucking weird looking. And he gets out of the car.
If it helps, Wolf, you will be apologizing for that statement soon enough. So, Mr. Alfonso, welcome to our humble abode. Do you need help with anything, or shall I escort Mr. Alfonso to the guest quarters?
Let's do what is of utmost importance at this moment in time.
That. That is the reason I like you, child. Very well then. Let us go and collect our due. Urian escorts Alfonso, opening doors and being polite the whole way through. As he leads him into the basement.
He just gives you the weirdest eyes, like, what in the fuck?
Hmm. I do apologize for our lack of refreshments in the abode. We are still setting up our home sweet home.
No, I'm fucking good. You just. What do you plan on doing? Like handcuffing me or throwing me in some kind of locked room, or what is the deal?
Well, truth be told, like I said, bike lock around the throat, around a support pillar of the establishment. It would be much nicer for you to be able to sit comfortably, ending straight up. And, well, once we have this all situated, I will make sure you have a bed to sleep on tomorrow night. Once we have everything situated,
What do you
I
mean by
think
everything's situated? What? You're gonna let me go?
everything, if that is your wish, it would not be my recommendation, but if I have any say in it, I would much prefer for you to be let go. You do me no service by being dead, Alfonso. You do Wolf no credit by being crisped in the sun. And there is no lesson that can be taught to something that is ash.
If we're gonna be honest, we can think of it like this. You broke a law, and we're taking you to court. Few folks are gonna act as jury duty. I don't know who.
Then where the fuck are the fucking police?
You're speaking to them.
You're the police.
In this particular region, yes.
Where's your fucking badge then, man?
You remember that first rule called masquerade?
Yeah.
Would it not be in our best interest to not hold seals and such in moral authority? Holding such things would be evidence. Evidence leads to breaches. That is what this is all about. So, if we were police, would we not be better suited to make sure that we were following the very rules we were upholding?
I guess that makes sense. Doesn't prove anything though.
Wolf wants you alive. M is indifferent. Me, I want to like you, Alfonso. I really do. But you're making it very difficult right now. So, as he's leading him down the stairs. No, not good. The attitude is good when it is harnessed, focused, put towards truest enemy. We are not that.
Pretty fucking close at this point.
If this is the closest you have come to an enemy, then your life thus far has been the equivalent of bliss.
In the greater workings in this moment, we are acting as your advocates, believe it or not. There are others who could have retrieved you, but they would have been far less kind, I imagine.
No, I'm pretty sure that somebody would have been kind enough
They
To
might have
what?
killed you.
Or they could just do it like they did in the old country, where they would hack off your arms and legs, tie a noose around your neck, and drive you back, having you curtailing along the sidewalk all the way, because it would have been fun for them, and as a nice little horror story to tell other fledglings. Notice, I didn't kick down doors. I did not scream. I did not come in guns blazing, and I managed to avoid having everyone else in that vicinity murdered because of your mistake. Thus far, I would consider that actually a pretty good deal.
Murdered everyone in that motel. That's what you
I
would have
have,
done.
yes, if you would have made it required.
Then how are you any fucking better than me?
I never said that was better. I'm not hating you for the killing. I'm not hating you at all. This is not about your indiscretion. It is about stolen property. And it is about our dear secret. So at this point, he nods to Wolf to put him up against the, one of those steel pillars in the bottom of houses.
Mm.
Yeah. As Urian grabs an old dusty bike lock and undoes the key, popping it off. And would you be kind enough to grab Alfonso a chair?
Of course. And she goes to retrieve the chair.
And Alfonso slides the bike lock on either side of Alfonso's throat, locking the back onto the post. Now his head is tied in with the post.
This is fucked up. Are you just gonna leave me here, or what's happening?
I am not going to leave you here, Alfonso. Like I said, this is just an acquirement for the evening. However, there is something I do need. He, at that point, pulls out a small pocket knife.
What
My
the fuck?
apologies. And it's at that point he just does a quick little...
On Alfonso?
Yep, just a small little cut. Just...
And the Vitae does start to drip a little bit.
He takes a little bit of it. And it's at this point I am going to go in front of him, start placing the chalk down. And as I start to set the pentagram and the arcane symbols modified to my own tastes.
Of course.
Everybody seems to mistake that magic is about the proper symbols. That's the first mistake every person wishing to study does. I am going to take my time, and we are going to use Taste of Blood, and I am going to enact the ritual Blood Walk.
Okay. And what does Blood Walk do for your taste for blood?
Success on it gives the blood's generation, the name of the subject, as well as the subject's sire.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me your Resolve plus Blood Sorcery roll.
And I do believe I get a +1 on that due to my blood potency.
I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and roll yes, and I will look that up later.
That is 3. I am going to spend one last willpower.
Okay.
To reroll those 2. Four successes. So, resonance, intensity, supernatural blood potency, and while I don't know if he's committed diablerie because it's not a crit, it does give me the generation name, the subject's sire, his resonance, and what his blood potency is.
Okay. So you do understand that he is a Thinblood. His blood potency is 0. His name is Alfonso Hendrick, and his sire's name is Randy.
Okay, 1 second. I just realized I'm missing my pens. Oh dear God. Truly a blasphemous time now, right? Our
Truly.
barracks without a pen.
Oh my God.
All right. Okay, so let's see here. So his name is Alfonso. What was the last name?
Hendrick.
Hendrick.
I have 2
And
questions.
his sire is Randy?
Yep.
Is Urian saying this out loud?
No.
For the moment, this
just
is his
one-
mental thoughts.
Okay.
This is just me trying to get a note. What
Sec-
what clan was Randy?
Did I ever tell you his clan?
Hmm.
I don't remember if I did or not.
Generation 0.
Generation, you know, is 14th.
Blood potency 0.
Can Wolf smell the resonance of the blood? Or is that not? Is that only applicable to humans?
Let me actually look at your feet and see what that will do for you here. In this case. Might help if I spelt it right. Alright.
No. This does give us a moment to speak.
To answer your question, Wolf, it applies to human blood only. Rules is written.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is his but I do know it. What is
The resonance he's currently under?
resonance?
Let me look. He is currently caloric.
Okay. Fantastic. Do you know who your sire is?
Maybe.
That would be important information to know if I'm going to save your life.
I mean,
There can't be many secrets between you and me, Alfonso.
I don't know. Maybe I've met him like once, twice, maybe. Told me to call
What's
him.
his name?
Told me to call him if I needed anything. It was.
And on that night you called him, yes?
Yeah.
Still
Very
have
well.
your phone on you?
Yeah. It's in my bag.
Fantastic. Might we look at the phone, please? I know we can go get it, but I'd rather be polite about these things. Or I can call him myself on the payphone, but that would be a little bit of a trip.
Yeah, it's in my bag. You tied this fucking thing on my neck. I can't move.
Oh, I know. I'm simply being civil about it.
Who is Randy to you?
He is a cleaner and a professional. And a respected kindred.
Kindred. calls themselves, I guess.
Some. I'd rather use that than the other word. You have questions. You have answered a few of mine. It is only polite that I try and answer yours in the fairest way I can.
Well, there's one that you still haven't answered, and that's who you're going to send me to.
At this point, Baron Delgado will be arriving tomorrow evening.
Who the fuck is that?
The fact that you do not know is the problem. He stands up from the circle, and he looks to Emin Wolf. Wolf, you're on, please.
Sure. For what intentions?
He branches the knife a little bit.
You're gonna cut me?
A tiny amount. At this point, this one needs someone in his life. Someone to watch over him. A guardian angel. You have been rooting for him the most. And we need him to understand. So I will bless this union. You will serve as a mentor of sorts for the time being. And as everything about our kind is, yours will be the gift of blood. A small amount, a taste, nothing more.
Is this part of more of your occult stuff?
This is part of saving his existence.
Okay. I understand. And Wolf presents himself.
Small cut, very tiny, nothing that would cause heavy amount of damage, but enough to allow Wolf, should they so choose, to push the vitae out. Just a taste will is all it requires. And walks over. As he walks down, as soon as Wolf is done, take the memory away from our dear friend. He does not need to remember this part.
She silently nods.
And Urian's going to use the last little bit to make 2 quick phone calls.
Okay. You have probably about an hour before sunrise.
Should only take about half an hour total. So, though it's a little bit more uncomfortable at this point. Time is of the essence.
As is everything in these nights.
Yeah. First, he'll end up contacting Delgado. Baron Delgado.
Okay. Are Em and Wolf doing something really quick first?
Of course, leave it to them.
Wolf wanted to have a quick moment with this Thinblood.
Okay.
Alfonso.
It's just kind of sitting there, a little bit defeated. Just kind of...
Wolf approaches and he goes down on one knee and he just stares at Alfonso for a moment. Look.
He doesn't look you in the eyes.
I understand everything seems very convoluted and uncertain.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
You probably feel like you're being attacked by a gang right now.
Yeah.
But if it's any reassurance, before I looked like this, and he gestures with his hands down his body, I was actually a pretty successful doctor. That was only, say, a month or 2 ago. Not too long. That's how long I've been this. What about yourself? How long have you been that? Who you are now?
A couple weeks, maybe a month.
So we're really not that different then. How old were you when you changed?
I'm 23.
About 32?
Well, you
Probably.
certainly don't look it.
No, I don't. I look like I've been aging in a crypt for 50 years, maybe 100.
I mean, you said
Oh.
it.
But for what it's worth, we're all really very much the same. That's why we're called kindred. Because we're kin. That's why I think it's important that we look out for each other.
By tying fucking bike locks around a person's neck. Yeah, real fucking sweet.
It was a reassurance. Just to make sure you don't, I don't know, cause any more havoc than necessary. You and I may look a monster, but I haven't killed anyone. At least not like this. Maybe on maybe on the surgery deck. But for what it's worth, if you could, Wolf presents his arm. If you're hungry, you may drink for me.
Nah, I'm good.
Wolf nods, lowers his arm. I'm not gonna force you. But should the moment pass, you need it. I just need you to know I'm not. I. The Baron may not be kind for what was done, and Randy may not be able to save you. So that's what we're trying to do.
Sure. Real fucking sweet.
Wolf stands up and he looks over to M and just sort of shrugs.
She kind of seems distracted, but she kind of mumbles arrogance under her breath over and over again. She looks to Wolf and says, well, should we give him a minute to think to himself then?
I suppose. If he figures it out tonight, or what he wants to do, I can't force him to do anything. I don't feel right doing it. I mean, considering. I just feel bad, you know?
She quickly approaches Wolf and takes his clawed hand in her. I appreciate you, Wolf. There's kindness in something I don't see as human, but it holds humanity. Leave him to think, and we should place ourselves first.
Alfonso, we'll be back with you later. For now, just. I guess sit tight.
Cool. with that, M and Wolf go back upstairs. You've been making phone calls
From a payphone.
from a payphone. There isn't one too far from the Haven.
There's the reason we took it as our haven in the first place.
Mm,
You have no idea on how much effort it takes just to maintain them.
this is true. You said you're calling Baron Delgado first.
Yes.
All right. He does pick up.
Good evening, Baron.
Mr. Doyle.
Mr. Delgado, I have received the package that you have been waiting for, and I invite you for a night of dinner and entertainment tomorrow night.
Ah, excellent, excellent. You made quick work, actually.
The host provides.
The host. Well, then I shall see you tomorrow for dinner and entertainment.
Fantastic.
Will the package be ready for movement elsewhere?
That depends on extenuating circumstances. I do not have long. Do pardon the short conversation. I must be off at this point.
Ah, yes. We will have to talk about those extenuating circumstances tomorrow, then.
I look forward to it. Be well, and good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Doyle.
He hangs up, and as soon as he hangs up, he starts dialing in Randy.
All right. It does take a minute for the phone to ring, but he finally does pick up. Yeah.
Mr. Randy, it is Urian Doyle.
Ah, Mr. Doyle. What can I do for you?
Oh, it's more what I can do for you. You see, I have your kid.
There's a pause. My kid, you said.
Yes. He has you on a cell. If you wish to end up speaking to him, I'm sure you can call immediately. But I very much doubt he'll pick up. But I'll pick up. He pulls out of his pocket a cell phone. That being said, he's in good hands for now. But I wanted to extend to you a professional courtesy.
Uh-huh.
Does Delgado know about your child?
What's it to you? It's my business.
It is your business until it became ours. You came on. So I have to wonder if our mutual friend that you spoke of had anything to do with it. I have a better theory. The reason you knew about the cleanup was because your child called you first. In a panic. There was an attack upon him by a individual who unfortunately did not know what they was getting into. Things got heated. It brought out the worst in him. And this mess was what happened. Is this what happened, Mr. Randy?
What do you want?
I want to judge the merit on if I should put my neck out for the one who's so disrespectful and sloppy, quite the opposite of you. That means he must be something special because it was not on a pragmatic embrace, was it? It was something else. Am I wrong?
Getting into personal business, Mr. Doyle.
To which I do apologize, but you can understand why I have to press. The fact that I did not tell the Gato should tell you where my concerns lie. I want to give the child as much of a chance as I can, but that's going to require a grave sacrifice on my own part.
And you're looking for payment.
No. I'm looking for justification. I am looking for a reason to keep him going, to express to our dear Baron why such a thing should be left to continue. We are an anarchy, are we not? The freedom to have children is the right to oneself. I do not fault you for this, but he was caught in places he shouldn't have been, causing problems that he should not have been. Justice would demand swift and cruel punishment. I am trying to avoid this.
As am I.
So how do we help each other, Mr. Randy?
You said you want to know why?
That would be a start.
He thinks for a moment. To protect family.
He is of your blood in more ways than one.
If you want to assume that.
I do not work on assumptions, Mr. Randy, and the day is soon to break. If I am not getting immediate and concise answers, I have to end up just moving along with Delgado's decision, and you and I both know what that will be. Help me by being true with me.
Yeah.
You love your family.
Of course I do.
I'm gonna roll a insight on that.
Alright.
And would it be safe to use resolve at this point, given the fact of all the little pieces I've had time to mull over?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or
And
do you want
resolve.
wits?
Yeah, use resolve. You've been on the phone with him for a moment.
Okay. Not a great roll, but that's Derek rolling.
Alright. And let's see.
Okay. He is family. That is enough. You love him.
Mm-hmm.
You love your family.
Yes, I do. Nobody fucks with my family.
Then know, whatever you hear, I want you to look beyond the action on itself and ask yourself, why Urian protects your family, even if he must maintain a view. Be well, Randy, and I hope to have your child back in your arms very soon. He hangs up, and with a mournful tone, starts to walk over. He thinks to himself, the dangerous game begins anew. I dance back on the floor of Jihad. A three-step tango with the devil. And I only hope this young blood will be able to keep up. Thin blood. Too thin for my liking. And yet, I understand him. We're all damned.
And that, I believe, is where we are going to take our break. Thank you, everybody, so far for watching. We will be back momentarily. Get up and get a drink, have a snack, do what you need to do, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Alright, welcome back, everyone, to San Antonio by Night, Episode 3. We find the coterie back at their haven and have finished speaking with the Thinblood that they have pulled into their custody, named Alfonso. And Urian has made himself useful by going and making a few phone calls while Em and Wolf discussed for a moment what they would do with Alfonso and kind of let Alfonso know where they stand. But uh, since Alfonso refused to taste Wolf's blood, Em and Wolf have gone back upstairs to discuss, think. What do they plan to do while Urian is out making phone calls?
Wolf sighs after getting back to the upper part of the building. Looks over to M. Well, that was exhausting.
No kidding. I swear I had to erase that poor clerk's brain so much. Hope he doesn't get a hangover or something.
Wouldn't be surprised if he got Alzheimer's early.
What a dreaded existence. Well, are you still hungry? We could work out some of that stress.
Mm. I could do for perhaps a walk, for sure.
Well,
Do you think Urian will miss us?
I feel Urian's occupied. I say we take this opportunity, get to know each other a little bit better, and I don't know.
All right. I agree. Shall we? And
Mhm.
Wolf gestures.
And she follows.
All right. So, you intend to go out hunting for both of
Yes.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So, Wolf, you're planning on doing the usual, yes?
Mm. Very specifically, Wolf is thinking he's feeling like he kind of missed an opportunity back at the park the first time. He wants to give it a shot again,
Hmm.
so
The
he
same park
decides,
in your domain?
yeah,
Okay.
he's think he's thinking if he's going to be hunting, he might have a better luck with, I don't know, an animal a little more domestic.
Hmm.
So he's gonna try and give it a shot with dogs. He's always loved dogs.
Hmm.
Always.
Okay.
He's loved them a lot.
Okay. So, going through the park, kind of keeping yourself obfuscated, well, not really obfuscated, but, you know, unless you are obfuscating yourself for a moment.
He does like red light, green light.
So yeah. Uh, since this is since this is about an hour, half an hour before, well, not half an hour, about an hour before sunrise. It's about 4:30 in the morning. 5 o'clock is when the latest you really want to stay out. The the difficulty is going to increase by one, because of the time constraints. And if you're looking specifically for a big dog and not multiple dogs, the difficulty is also going to increase by one. So it'll be a difficulty 5 roll. Your normal chase allows you difficulty 3. It'll be increased to difficulty 5.
Wolf is gonna look for dogs of about medium size. Not big, just medium ish. Usually stray dogs like pit bulls. Pit bulls are very common. They're about medium sized dogs. They're just beefy.
Okay. Then go ahead and roll me your hunting roll.
Mm.
Em, are you assisting?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then go ahead and add a +1 dice to your roll.
Okay. So what is it? Animal kin.
Composure, animal kin for farmer.
Ah. Uh, and I do have a specialty with dogs, if
Yeah,
I remember right.
go ahead and add that as another +1, so that's +2 total.
Yeah.
That's 3 successes. I did say the
Mm,
difficulty was 5.
dang.
Did you
All
want to
right.
spend willpower, or did you want to succeed at a cost?
Um, let's try willpower.
Okay, you have two dice to reroll. You need 2 successes.
All right. RNGesus. Oh, look
There
at
we
that.
go. Look at that. All right, so you're waiting. You wait probably about 10 minutes. You do see a stray kind of wandering past. There are a couple of people who are wandering on the other side of the park, but you snag that dog right in the perfect opportunity. You make sure that you clamp his muzzle shut so it doesn't make any noise, and you drink and you drink.
M just sees Wolf's maw pop out from behind a tree and chomp down on a cute terrier dog's entire skull. You hear a slight yelp as he drags it in behind the tree and silence after some ripping and tearing noises. And then you see his claw come out from behind the tree and just do a little wiggle. A come hither wiggle.
She kind of smiles and approaches.
Coming up to Wolf, she just sees this fairly gory mess. Wolf just looks at her and, in his best attempt to smile, does so. Toothy grin covered in blood.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a horrific sight, Em.
And
That cute dog-like face seems so unsettling when it's covered in blood.
I feel like I can find warmth within his smile. He's doing this to live. And though it is messy, he's still around. And, you know, Wolf isn't as bad as people see. I don't know. She kind of smiles and. Did you eat well?
It satiates. Now,
Well, that's good.
yeah,
Come on, Wolf, we can do better than this. There's so much more tasty things right across the park. You just have to snag them, bag them, take them in your jaws, and just drink.
nah, not hungry. He looks to M. May I assist for anything you need here?
I would really appreciate it, yeah. I'm getting
Alright.
a little hangry, you could say.
Mm.
Wolf, as a side note, I will allow you to slake one hunger.
Um, Wolf looks at M seriously for a moment. That is to say, I'm only really good at animals, but if you're after people, well, I mean, I'm a surgeon. I know how much blood you could probably take without harming them, but I don't know. It's risky.
She reaches her hand out and places it on his maw and just kind of pats gently. I'd prefer to sticking with the non-talking kind of prey.
It's sticky.
She kind of just like feels like she touched a toddler's hand that's just absolutely sticky and covered in weird stuff that she doesn't even know what it could be. Ah, and wipes it on some ground next to her. Well, let's get to this.
Right.
So, Em, how do you plan on doing this?
I think she is kind of gonna try something similar to Wolf. She does want a dog for sure.
Okay.
Avoid humans at all costs, so she's gonna try to be kind of quiet and sneaky about it.
Okay.
Um, Probably hide in some underbrush and wait, similar to Wolf.
Similar to Wolf. Okay. It is still going to be difficulty 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to allow for Wolf to assist for a +1 dice. You don't have any animal specialties, do you?
I do not.
Okay. So this would be a composure animal, Ken, unless you plan on doing it some other way.
Mm.
Wolf gestures to M, and he kind of puts his pinkies in small divots between his teeth, gestures a whistle. Would whistling help?
I would say that that is the assist you're able to do.
Mm. Right.
Unless you have some other way you want to hunt.
You could send Wolf.
I could. She kind of she waits for a little bit, not too long, before speaking up. I think you would be better at this, Wolf. You seem to be better at it. I don't know. I feel like I'm not really used to hunting.
Ah,
Could I cash in that favor?
absolutely. And Wolf is gonna hunt for M.
Okay, so you intend on making the roll yourself for her?
He looks at her and just simply asks, "Could you just whistle for them? I don't think they're gonna get too easily near. What
Mm-hmm.
with me needing a rag."
Of course. And she gets up and dusts off dirt from her dress and starts whistling and making little smoochy noises.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm going to allow this. I don't know that there's a rule for this, but we'll find out some other time. Go ahead, Wolf, and make me another composure animal can +1 for M, +1 for your dog specialty. Still difficulty 5. Are you wanting to willpower?
I don't believe they can. Well, even if they did, they're unless they get crit, there's a problem with that one that rolled on the hunger die.
Oh yeah, that would be a bestial failure.
Mm,
That's up to you if you want to give them a chance. Remember, the house rule I had was that if you rolled and it was a bestial failure, you could willpower it, but you couldn't succeed at a cost.
Mm. Yep, because that's the only way you'd be able to make that is if you were to.
Double tens.
Yep. Did you want to try for the crit? Otherwise, you're getting the bestial failure.
hmm. Dang. I think I'm gonna take the bestial failure on this.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d10, please.
D10.
Yep.
Hmm. How would I put that in? What is the command?
Slash roll 1d10.
uh. No
Or
one told me.
I can roll it
Yep.
if you need me to.
I probably need you to because I don't know a lot about Roll20.
That's fair. We'll just keep it rolling. 5. Figure out what that is. Yeah. Where are my compulsion rules? Derek, do you know the compulsions off the top of your head?
Let's see here. Off the top of my head, no, but quick look up, I can.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
It's not hunger, I know that. Might be
No.
harm.
Might be.
Yep, found him. Okay, so that would be a 5, that would be dominance.
Dominance. And what?
Page 208.
208. Okay.
The blood urges its host to come out on top, to own or to establish dominance. The compulsion drives the vampire not only to excel, but to revel in it, taunting the weak and challenging the strong. The vampire makes the next interaction into a competition, using all means at their disposal to end up victorious or to rub the nose of the loser in their defeat. The vampire cannot use teamwork and perform actions that avoid establishing dominance or challenge authority, a 2 dice penalty to their pools. This compulsion ends when the vampire has won and gloated over it.
And right now, M definitely looks like she's a pretty weakling. She is hungry. She's small.
Wolf thinks to himself, nah, not M.
Oh, come on. She's incredibly easy to roll over. You know it. You can just gloat this whole thing over her head. You were able to feed, and she wasn't. That's entirely positive for you.
Oh, no worries. I know who to gloat over.
Oh, yeah? It's Urian, isn't it?
No.
The kid in the basement? You think you got him? You think you wanna taunt him a little bit? I think I want to taunt him a little bit. I think I want to wring his neck. I think I want to make him squeal. What do you say?
I mean,
Come
I
on.
could probably bully him a bit, but
Let's do it. I'm good.
no, not right now.
Oh, you're no fun. Come on.
I have
Let's
to
go.
check in with them first.
Fine. I'll get my time. Just you wait.
Wolf returns to M, and he just sort of lowers his head a bit. It's a little harder sometimes, I guess. You know, when you're covered in blood.
I understand, Wolf. And she reaches her hand out again and pats a cheek. I appreciate you doing this for me.
Mm.
You still hear that voice in the back of your head just trying to urge, push, push. You need to insert your dominance. You need to control her.
No.
You need to control her.
Let's go back to the Haven for a sec.
She looks concerned and. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. It's getting close to dawn. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe we could check in with Urian about that blood stuff. I'll see if I can check in with my contact as well.
All right.
Okay. And I guess at this point they return.
So I'll start working back.
When they're walking back, can M ask Wolf a question?
Go for it.
Hey, Wolf.
Yes.
Who was he to you? Your sire? With all this Alfonso business, it's got me thinking.
Wolf, you hear in the back of your head, oh, I'd love to put him in his place. Wouldn't you? He's an
Wolf.
asshole. Let's go get him. Let's go get him right now.
Wolf remembers his mother. He dissociates for a moment and visibly tightens himself. He's a fucking bastard. No. I mean, and he holds his head frustrated. He, I mean, it's what I deserved, but God, I just love to fucking wipe that dumbass grin off his face.
M quickly takes the hand of Wolf and holds it firmly.
Pin her down.
Wolf, we, even though this life is hard, I know that we do not deserve what was brought to us. This existence, this curse. And seeing who you are, out of all of us, this was not deserved to be brought upon you. Don't you say that in my presence again.
She's trying to command you, Wolf. She's trying to order you around. You don't like that. You don't like that at all.
Wolf remembers Ariel. Wolf remembers his mom. He looks over to M and a flash of rage crosses his face for a moment. What do you know? And he rips his hand away and kind of storms on ahead.
M just silently watches him leave. A trace of sorrow may pass her face.
You both walk separately back to the Haven. It's about that point that Urian's made his way back as well. And you all are in the main floor of the Coterie Haven in the sanctuary.
Urian takes one quick check to end up making sure that their guest hasn't fled the coop.
He's still present. He's still
Fantastic.
there.
Good. I would hate to end up... Wait a moment. He looks damn Wolf. I trust you two had a fantastic evening.
M walks away without replying and goes off somewhere in the house.
It looks to Wolf.
Wolf flashes a look back. You see visible frustration. He peeks down the stairs and then peeks back at you. Almost like a reassurance, like, are you gonna go down there?
Wolf, come with me for a moment.
Wolf saunters over.
He goes to the window. He wants to be sure on how much time they have. No better than knowing how light the sky is getting. In all the time that we've been working together, I do not believe I have ever spoken with you one-on-one. M has always tried to protect you in that regard, I suppose. It is her better angels that speak then.
Wolf narrows his eyes at Urian. I don't feel like I need protecting. Not like this.
No, we're stronger than that.
You are stronger than that, Wolf. Now, So I wanted to speak to you not as a master to student, but as a kindred to kindred. You feel ideas, thoughts of what is happening now, especially with Alfonso in the basement, with what we had to do. We are fortunate that it did not escalate more than it had.
Right now, I'm feeling like I kind of wish it did.
Do you now?
Wolf stretches a bit, uh, putting his arms back behind him. Yeah, guess you could say I'm a little grumpy.
And what is it you wish? Truthfully, what do you wish out of all this?
My desire is that I guess I just don't want that kid getting hurt, but at the same time,
What is it that you want? Not what you want for them. What do you want for yourself?
for myself, like a goal out of all of this.
No. More an affirmation of who and what you are. You can never be the doctor. You can never sit on the couch and enjoy a bud with your friend as you watch, what is it, rugby, Super Bowl. But you have an eternity to adapt, to become more. I would see this so. You remind me of a great comrade, a friend I held dear.
I guess if this is the life I have to live, then without a doubt, I think what I want is a home. People. You know, that's really a hard question to ask. It's rather vague.
We stumble in darkness perpetually.
I feel like I'm tumbling down a set of stairs in the middle of it.
Yes, I remember those days as well. Though in my time it was significantly different. It was far more literal at times.
Oh,
I tumbled down 6 flights of stairs because I did not lower my head sufficiently enough when speaking to an elder.
oh. Well,
I made the mistake of underestimating a gift that was offered to me. You wish to illustrate it in its most brutal capacity. I was much more potent back then.
I see. Well, given that regard, I guess what I want is respect. And not
We
the kind.
demand respect.
Not. Not the kind,
demand it.
not the kind ruled by fear, but by influence, by some means of favor, by preference. I want people to want me back.
You're a monstrosity. Nobody wants you.
He looks to Wolf. He steps up and looks up at this monstrosity. This huge beast who could easily bite his head off in a single motion if he so chose. And smiles. Wolf, I want you. I want you because you are a reminder to myself of what I once was, of the people who are important. I could not do this without you. And while the next couple of nights you will see things you really will not enjoy, and you will not look at me the same. Everything I do is because I value you both so much. You are my reminders of where I stand. And it is not often I would express this. He lowers himself heavily. I am in humble gratitude for everything you have done and everything you have lost. I cannot give it back to you. Never. He looks up. But I am grateful every single night that you are with me, at my side. My monstrous conscience, to which I could never do without.
With him bowing like that, Wolf, it looks mighty tempting to just revel in it. Revel in his subservience.
I appreciate that, Urian. I take pride in having you here as my ally. You're right. You can't give me any ounce of my old life back, but I guess on that note, hell, with you and Em, I can just fucking make a new one, can't I?
What you lost is nothing compared to what you have gained. Your soul belongs to your own. I am here to guide you in all that I can. My dear friend would be proud to know that you are amongst my troop.
With a reputation like that, I better make the most of it. And he flashes a toothy grin at Urian.
I will speak to him. You two seem to not be seeing eye to eye right now.
I lost my temper.
The beast calls you? Or is that the man behind the monster that rages so?
us both.
And that, my dear friend, that is the mystery that I delve. Know that these moments I have to keep private. I do the song and dance so that you two do not have to until you are ready to step upon the floor and dance with the jihad on your own terms. You may not always understand it, but know that you two are within my heart's blood.
I'll keep that in mind.
It is the most I can do at this time for you, Wolf. Precious as you are to me. Soon I will play the villain. As we all must from time to time. He pats Wolf on the shoulder. Well, probably more the arm because he would never be able to reach to Wolf's shoulder. As he starts to walk out. Urian can only wonder if he's laying out too much too quick. If he's giving them too much leverage without the wisdom to use it. But they'll never learn if they're not given a small piece. That's the truth of it. That's the hardest part of teaching fledglings. How much power do you give them? Give them too much, and they misuse it. Give them too little, and they feel choked. Don't give them any at all, and they rebel. That's what the Anarch movement has taught us. And he makes his way to M.
M is currently behind a closed door, presumably what would be her room. Yes?
M, might I come in?
Goes quiet for a moment. And then you hear a creaking of a bed and footsteps walk towards the door and she cracks it open ever so slightly. Yes, Urian?
I hope I did not catch you indecently.
I'm simply resting. For the meantime.
You seemed upset when you left. Given what I know will be coming, I wanted to speak to you so you knew exactly what you will be seeing and understand it.
She cracks open the door more and invites him in. There should be a table with two chairs, probably where she reads her tarot cards most often. And she moves the seat for Urian outwards and takes her own seat.
And here I am still getting used to the idea that sometimes the lady is now the one proper to end up opening the seat. Thank you, Em.
Of course.
Are you alright?
It's not a matter of importance.
It is to me. You being alright is of importance to me.
Well, I don't know. These past nights I feel I have my uses, but they're very little. I wish to attribute more. However, every time I try, it slips.
You are a neonate, barely out of being a fledgling. You have just found your legs. You have not built them to be strong yet.
Call me ambitious then.
And it is what I like about you. But ambition should be tempered with expectation.
She
If
seems almost frustrated from that, but she keeps silent.
very well then, bring me the moon.
If I could, I would.
Why can you not?
Don't know how.
So what must you learn?
How to steal the moon.
And on there, you understand. Do not be impatient. Your time will come. Tomorrow, when Delgato arrives, I will perform the act, the scene. But you can see more than most. You will see through what is going on. And when it happens, above all else, I need you to know that when it happens, it is to maintain you and Wolf. Wolf's well-being is tied to the thin blood below. So, with that, I have to end up maintaining that thin blood. And that thin blood is not going to like what comes next. I don't have to have him like it. But I do need you and Wolf to understand it. It would break my heart otherwise.
She goes quiet and looks down at her hand, back at Irian. As much as I say this to Wolf, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity in person. But I have your back. Whatever way I can. We are all in this together. And I'm grateful for everything that you've done since I was just dumped here.
You were never dumped. You are placed exactly where you needed to be to become who and what you would become. Powerful beyond measure, insightful, deliberate, patient, and most importantly, a tempered edge of ambition. The thin blood has no wish for ambition, only to say, what is going on? Why do you do these things? Does not have the wisdom to sit and be quiet and listen. You are beyond such small lessons. I would argue that you and Wolf will be the greatest students I have ever taken into my charge.
She's speechless.
As I told Wolf, you two remind me of very dear friends, and I value that greatly, even if it is simply nostalgia. I will leave you to sleep. I will not be sleeping in my room. I will be sleeping in the basement with the thin blood.
if there's anything you need, please let me know.
Shock and horror. Dear M, tomorrow, let us pray for both. Is if we do not receive, pardon, if we do not deliver, then we shall receive. And then the child, Randy, will be for naught but ash, and we will have lost a great kindred, one who is deserving of our respect.
Tomorrow then.
Sleep well, Em. Our dearest Mad Beauty.
She finally smirks. Out of the one time, the whole conversation they've had, she seems to feel a little better.
My dearest children. He closes the door. In that moment alone, he looks to the window, reaches to the side of his face as he wipes a bit of red out the corner of his eye. Nostalgia. He clenches his tips of his fingers into a tight fist. Nostalgia and nothing more. He starts to make his way into the basement to the Thinblood, where he intends to sleep that night.
And thus, the night ends. The sun rises, and the dead lay still in their beds. And that is where we end tonight's session. Good job.
Well,
All right. So, how did everybody feel?
Ah!
I feel like I was on an emotional roller coaster, Mr. Krabs.
Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
Do you feel it now? Do you feel?
Lord.
Do you feel the things for San Antonio by night?
Oh my god.
Good job, everybody. Well, wonderfully done. Wonderfully done. I appreciate all of you. For all intents and purposes, Wolf, I think you still would be under your compulsion at the
I
beginning of the day.
know.
yeah.
I know. And I'm like, I don't know where I want to go with this.
Eventually, you will
interesting
have to.
point.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Eventually, you will have to lash out in dominance on somebody. Otherwise, you're at a
don't have-
penalty.
I don't have dominance.
Oh, you don't need to use dominate. You just gotta dominate somebody.
You just gotta be. You gotta establish that you are number one and go out
You
about
need to
it.
pwn somebody, okay? Let me use the vernacular that you kids use these days.
Kids
need
don't
to
use
pwn
that these
somebody.
days anymore.
I have literally not heard
Oh
that
god,
term
my
since
elder is
2010.
showing.
I'm so old.
It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I remember the pwn days.
Pure ownage. Yep. So, everybody gets 1 XP for the session.
Cool.
Hella.
And so, we're gonna go kind of down the list and see what we think about who earned what. So, who earned the best scene tonight?
Gotta give that to Wolf. Gotta give that to
Aw.
Wolf specifically for that, and Oh god, what's his name again? Alfonso.
Mm.
That whole scene. You
He
know.
tried so hard, and now Wolf just wants to, like, bully him.
Well, now you understand why Urian is the way he is at the very least. Though interesting note, compulsion, you're not aware that you're under a compulsion. This feels perfectly fucking natural.
Yep.
Mm.
It's not quite the beast talking. You know the beast's compulsions. You know when it's not you, but it is you. But compulsions? No, this just feels like the right thing to do right now. I am convinced this is the right thing to do.
Yep.
I need to put a motherfucker in his place.
Yep.
I need to let
And
him
I
know
wasn't sure exactly how to force that on you, so
it. It's a little tricky, and that's something where you kind of gotta
gotta play
have a
with
little
it.
bit more experience with it.
Yep. Not exactly experienced in making people go through their compulsions? Question mark. And they usually have a little bit more luck with that. But that being said, you're still under that compulsion until you satisfy it.
Might have an opportunity next week.
Might. You just might. Baron Delgado will be appearing.
Oh god, that's not a good idea.
You know, I already told CoffeeCat what my intentions are,
Mm.
and you're saying that's not a good idea. Urian's going, that's cute.
Yes.
I
Best scene goes to Wolf, unless you have another hat to throw in. Can throw in your own.
No, no, I'll vote for that for sure.
Okay. Wolf, regardless what you say, you get it.
Hella.
Let's see. Who moved the plot the furthest?
The plotter.
The plotter. Who was the plotter today? Who was the
Who
doer
plots
today?
the most?
Who? But who
Yuri.
was the doer? Who was the doer?
Wolf and Urian. I'm just gonna throw both of them out there. I'm fake coughing.
Oh.
Or at least I was trying. Apparently, I failed. So.
I feel like, yeah, once again, Urian had the most initiative.
Mm-hmm.
What you say, Derek?
I'm not gonna argue it.
All right, Urian gets it.
All right.
How about one-liners?
Oh my gosh. I have a favorite, and it was like, I'm sorry, but the Mr. Fuck You thing was amazing. I was dying off the mic. It was great.
Mr. Fuck you. All right then, Mr. Fuck you. Is that Oriental?
God. I have 2 nominations.
2 nominations. Okay.
Yeah. M almost made me cry IRL as a person when, after the talk with Alfonso, M is just like, for something that looks so monstrous, you have the most humanity. And I'm like, thanks.
That's a good line, for sure.
I cried. Just a bit. So fine. Don't worry about
Bless.
it.
What's the other
The other one-
contender?
The other one, like both of these, I already stated to you guys behind the scenes. But my other one that got me giggling was Urian's. There's a lot of things that get me off, but that's not one of them. That's not my kink.
That was a good one.
Urian Doyle, 2019.
2 different lines coming from Urian.
Does that mean I get it by default, or do I actually end up getting?
Unless
A
you've got
vote
an
here.
argument.
I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to argue against myself right now, and I'm having a hard time with that. if you guys don't mind, I think Wolf has a really good contendership. I'm not sure if it's the best, but I do like that line. Or, pardon, I do think M had the best line in that regard.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'd say I'd have to give it to M
Okay.
for the exact same line. That was a magnificent piece.
So wait,
Aw,
is this a
shit.
is this a three-way tie?
Mm, no, because you have 2 votes on the same line.
Okay.
There's one for one of Urian's line, but then there's another for a second that isn't the same line, versus 2 votes on the exact same line for M.
That's fair.
I'd rather M get it than us let the dice decide it.
All right. All right.
Same.
We'll go with M on that one then.
Thank you.
Hella.
Does anyone want to spend any XP?
Oh, I could spend it on a skill or a background.
I will get back to you on that because I need to look at things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
it's more
fair.
productive to be like off screen, spending 3 hours looking at the same shit.
I just realized I should have snagged it for myself. I'm doing the math. One more dot. It's like, okay, first dot, dominate. But that's okay.
Is that a clan discipline for Tremere?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect.
Allspex, blood, sorcery, and dominate.
Nice.
So we'll wait for next week.
Wait for next week. Hell yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this game so far. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Oh yes.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Love it. Love it.
Feels good.
Feels good, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there is, we don't have anything to recover aggravated willpower, do we?
Not aggravated, but did manage to do the desire.
Okay.
So I gotta change my desire for next week.
I also did my desire. It was literally just talking to the Thinblood.
Okay.
Capture the thin blood.
For some reason, I cannot open my thing on Roll20, so YOLO.
Okay.
YOLO.
Would we be healing up willpower normally then?
Yeah. Looks like everybody is going to be able to, for next session, it be at full willpower. So there's no aggravated willpower. Just
Excellent.
everybody's at full willpower next session. All right. So,
Wow.
with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. We are going to say goodnight for now, and we will see you all next week for episode 4 of San Antonio by Night, where you get to see more of this chronicle in the Animal City.
Yes. Nice.
Good night, everybody.
Good
night.
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 Be safe. Don't let the Kindred bite.
Hey,
Fight.
mama.